So 2 Super Bowls ago, we had been in Connecticut on foundation business and came home via the ferry to find that our son Jonathan had gotten together a Super Bowl party. But he was good. He cleaned the house. He ordered food. He had everything all set up. We really didn't have to do anything. Amongst the guests was a family for whom he gives private karate lessons to their 2 sons, little boys. And after we had dinner, I was cleaning up in the kitchen, and the mom of these 2 little boys came in, and we were chatting. And we were specifically chatting about houses. I don't remember why. And she mentioned that her house required a lot of money because it was an old house. Every time they went to do something, it would require much more money than what they had anticipated. And I waited a while, and then I decided, I'm going to ask. So I said, so you live in this really old house. Do you have any spirits in your house? And she got that look on her face that I said, uh-oh, maybe I should not have asked this question. But then she said, as a matter of fact, I do. And she proceeded to tell me about how when she had given birth to the first of these 2 little boys, in the master bedroom was a separate little alcove that was designed as a nursery. And she would put the baby into the nursery, and the baby would immediately wake up. And she'd get the baby back to sleep, put him back into the crib, and he would wake up again. And no matter what she did, this baby would not go to sleep in the crib in the nursery. So she gave up, moved him into his regular room where he slept just fine. When she had the second son, same scenario. Put the baby in the nursery, the baby wakes up. So she moved him to his room. Now, she figured, not going to have any more children. I really don't need a nursery in the master bedroom. Let's redesign the master bedroom. We'll knock down the wall, make the room bigger. And the way she tells the story is the day the contractors came and knocked down this wall, things started flying around the house. Furniture was moving. Windows that had been bolted closed were now swinging open. And she, of course, called in a sensitive to the house who told her that there was a woman dressed in black walking through the house, which confirmed stories that her little boys had been telling her about seeing a woman walking around the house. And that there was a gentleman who sat in a rocking chair in front of the fireplace, just rocking back and forth, smoking a cigar. And that the woman was the wife and had lost a baby in the house in that nursery, and that nursery had been a shrine when she lived in the house, and now the shrine had been destroyed, and that upset Spirit. And as soon as she finishes telling me this story, the lights in our house go out, which disturbed all of the men sitting in front of the TV watching the Super Bowl. And I went to go get a flashlight, and as soon as I reached for the flashlight, the lights came back on. Of course, my response to her was, so, you brought those spirits with you now, did you? And we got a little chuckle out of that, and immediately after, the lights went out again. But they stayed out for a bit, which was getting those guys down in front of the TV really upset. So I got a bunch of flashlights and candles together. And as soon as we had given everything out, lights came back on, Super Bowl was restored, everybody was happy. At halftime, this family decided it was time to leave because they had young boys, and the husband had a job which required him getting up 4 o'clock in the morning. So they left. And after they left, one of our son's very big, burly friends says to me, "You don't believe in all this spirit stuff, do you?" And I said, "I do." And I proceeded to explain to him, and we had a nice little conversation. And he said, "Yeah, but you know, it's scary. You watch these movies like The Sixth Sense and White Noise, and it's scary stuff." And so we got into the conversation and the description of how that's just Hollywood. And another gentleman who was also at the Super Bowl festivities said, "What's white noise?" So I proceeded to explain that white noise is when you can change your TV or your radio to a non-broadcasting station, and that wave noise or visual that comes through is an area where spirit can imprint their message or their their visual imprint for you to see later on. As soon as I finished describing what white noise was, the TV changes itself to a non-broadcasting station. So Spirit was right on cue then. Of course, this big burly friend of Jonathan's gets up and says, "I'm out of here." And the other man who asked about the white noise said, "Anything you would like for the foundation, you know I'll do."